Ezra 3. And they offered burnt offerings on it to Yahweh, both the morning and evening burnt offerings. And they kept the Feast of Tabernacles, as it is written. And afterwards they offered the regular burnt offering and those for new moons, for all the appointed feasts of Yahweh. And they sang responsively, praising and giving thanks to Yahweh, for he is good, his mercy endures forever toward Israel. Ezra 4. And when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the descendants of the captivity were building the temple of Yahweh God of Israel, they came and said to them, Let us build with you, for we seek your God as you do. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the heads of the fathers' houses of Israel said, You may do nothing with us to build a house for our God. And the people of the land tried to discourage the hands of the people of Judah. They troubled them in building and hired against them counselors to frustrate their purpose. And in the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, they wrote an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. The king sent an answer, Now give the command to make these men cease, that this city may not be built. They went up in haste to Jerusalem against Jews and made them cease by force. Ezra 5. And Haggai the prophet and Zechariah son of Iddo prophesied to Jews who were in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of the God of Israel, who was over them. Then Zerubbabel son of Shealtiel and Jeshua son of Jozadak rose up and began to build the house of God, and with them were the prophets of God helping them. Ezra 6. Then King Darius issued a decree, Let alone the work of this house of God, and what they need, let it be given them day by day without fail. Any man who alters this edict, let a timber be pulled from his house, and erected, and let him be hanged on it, and let his house be made a refuse heap because of this. And may the God who causes his name to dwell there destroy any king or people who put their hand to alter it or to destroy this house of God, which is in Jerusalem. And they built and finished it according to the commandment of the God of Israel. The descendants of the captivity celebrated the dedication of this house of God with joy, and the descendants of the captivity kept the Passover. And the sons of Israel who had returned from the captivity ate together with all who had separated themselves from the filth of the nations of the land, in order to seek Yahweh, God of Israel. And they kept the feast of unleavened bread 7 days with joy, for Yahweh made them joyful, and turned the heart of the king of Assyria toward them, to strengthen their hands in the work of the house of God. Ezra 7. Whatever is commanded by the God of heaven, let it be done diligently, for the house of the God of heaven. Blessed be Yahweh, God of our fathers, who has put such a thing as this in the heart of the king, to beautify the house of Yahweh, which is in Jerusalem, and has extended mercy to me before the king and his counselors, and before all the princes of the king. So I was encouraged, as the mighty hand of Yahweh my God was upon me.